What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in with some pretty juicy Destiny 2 news, and of course we've learned quite a bit about Season of Opulence this week. But today Bungie jump in and they give us some more details about the Chalice of Opulence, and this is going to be the container for a whole bunch of new rewards in Season 7. So they give us details on some of those rewards and how we can acquire them. On top of this, they talk about some buffs and sandbox changes coming next season, quality of life changes and some patch note previews, as well as rewards for Crown of Sorrow, and more details about upcoming reveals for Year 3 and beyond. So guys, we've got lots to talk about. Now let's jump straight into it. Firstly, before we talk about Opulence stuff, we have covered this today, but Bungie have announced that they will be doing a reveal for the next chapter of Destiny 2, and that'll be next week on June the 6th. And when folks asked exactly where the reveal is taking place, Cosmo did say, everywhere. So I don't really know, maybe we're going to get a Vidoc or a trailer, maybe a stream. But in addition to this, we now know that Bungie are going to be at E3 this year in some capacity. So Jeff Keighley tweeted, "I'll be sitting down with the team at Bungie during E3 Coliseum for a panel titled The Future of Bungie and Destiny 2 on Tuesday, June 11th. So that's going to be at noon. And he adds that he's excited for what they have to reveal next week. And on top of this, Jason Schreier, who's an industry journalist, said, "I'm very hyped for Bungie's reveal." And somebody asked if he knows anything about it, and he said, "A bit, but if I tweet anything, it's going to turn into a Reddit thread and a bunch of news articles, so let's just wait for next week." So yeah, the buzz around all of this stuff is definitely building up now, and as well as the new content in Opulence, June is going to be a month full of reveals. Next though, let's speak about Season of Opulence stuff, and specifically Bungie give us new details on the Chalice of Opulence. This is going to be one of the new ways that we get rewards in Season 7, and specifically this is linked to the Menagerie mode. So initially, we'll earn runes to slot onto our Chalice through the following methods, and that includes completing weekly bounties, opening up the new weekly chests on the Nessus Barge, and obviously that is sort of a new location by the sounds of it, but also using a consumable that will reward you with a rune after a strike, crucible, or gambit completion. The same consumable will give other players in your fire team a chance to earn an additional rune as well. Then you can take the runes and slot them into the Chalice before you enter the Menagerie, and then complete Menagerie to actually earn your rewards. And of course, because we can select gear, you can apply the rune to a specific piece of gear, and that means that when you complete Menagerie, you will get that specific drop. We can see right here what the Chalice of Opulence actually looks like. So that's a general idea of how it's going to work, but on top of this, it is upgradable. And Bungie say we'll have a host of new triumphs and bounties to complete that are going to reward a new currency called Imperials. And with this currency, we can actually upgrade the Chalice to acquire a variety of perks with a wide range of effects, from giving you more powerful rewards per week, to allowing you to choose the specific gun and masterwork stat that you get from the Menagerie. And you can earn Imperials, the new currency, by completing weekly bounties, certain triumphs, using special consumables that allow for Imperial acquisition, and Chalice upgrades that allow you to earn Imperials through playlist activities. On top of this, you can choose which upgrades you unlock first, so you can unlock additional rune slots to allow more control of an item's specialization, upgrade it so that you can earn more runes or more rune variety, or upgrade it to allow for additional powerful rewards from the Menagerie. For example, if you wanted to earn a random roll of the beloved sniper rifle, but wanted it specifically with a handling masterwork trait, that would require a Rune of Jubilation, any red rune, and any purple rune. And Bungie say this rune configuration is your freebie, and we're excited for the community to come together and uncover combinations for each Menagerie reward. So, runes will have to actually be configured in a specific way to get specific rewards, and we're not going to know exactly how each of them drop, but that new sniper rifle can be acquired by combining a Rune of Jubilation, a red rune, and a purple rune. So pretty interesting system, kind of similar to something like the Holiday Oven. Let us know what you think about that. It is also very interesting that Bungie refer to the new Nessus Barge, so I'm guessing this is the location that the Menagerie is actually housed in. That is, of course, unless it is an otherwise explorable location or a hub of some sort. Next though, Bungie briefly talk about Crown of Sorrow, and there's an interesting emblem right here, so you can acquire this one if you're able to defeat the final encounter in the first 24 hours. And interestingly, we've got a hive icon right there, so that probably suggests something about the enemy type in Crown of Sorrow. On top of this, in This Week at Bungie, they show off the world first raid belt right there, which is really neat, and the new raid jacket. And you can actually earn the ability to unlock this by completing the raid before weekly reset the following week. So you can check out more details about those if you want to in the Bungie article linked below. Another change right here is the Bungie are actually updating the Pursuits tab, and you can see how it looks different. Also, we can see the Chalice of Opulence icon there. Bungie say the Pursuits menu will be moved from the inventory to the Director, and with this update, you'll be able to switch between Pursuits and the Director overview in one move. All of the objectives will be displayed in one tab, and they've even added some filters to give us things like quests only or bounties only, so you can kind of separate and look for specific things. Definitely a pretty interesting change. I would say that is a solid quality of life upgrade by the looks of it. And that includes a pursuit's size increase from 50 to 63 slots, so you can hoard more bounties than ever before. Now though, Bungie speak about buffs, and they had promised to speak about some things that were being adjusted in the sandbox. So they are going to be buffing fusion rifles. So for non-exotic fusions, damage has been increased against PvE combatants, the high impact variety has been increased by 30%, precision by 44%, adaptive by 44%, and rapid fire by 47%. They do say that some of the exotic fusion rifles, Telesto, Jotun, and Merciless, did see some minor adjustments due to the other buffs, but each of those is below 5%. Now, we've got a buff to Sturm and Drang. The Storm and Stress max overcharge rounds has been increased to 99. The Sturm overcharge buff text now displays the number of overcharge rounds, and overcharge damage has been increased by 100% in PvE. And that is pretty crazy stuff. And Bungie say there will be a new version of Drang coming in the Season of Opulence, which is pretty curious. We can see that one right there. In addition to this though, in the sandbox they are buffing swords. So ammo capacity has been increased to a maximum of 70, with starting ammo increased by 10, and for Black Talon, ground and aerial projectile ammo cost has been increased from 3 to 4. They've also increased the cost from 3 to 4 on adaptive frame uppercuts. Aggressive frames can now lunge at a target with their aerial light attack. The light attack has been consolidated into a single damage event, as well as the slam attack, and that slam attack ammo cost has been increased from 3 to 4 as well. They've done some damage tuning on lightweight frame swords. So the light attack on the ground has been increased by 17% damage, aerial light attack has been decreased by 21%, the ground dash increased by 87%, aerial dash increased by 78%, and the no ammo aerial light attack decreased by 49%, with all other no ammo attacks decreased by 15%. So some pretty interesting adjustments to swords. And we can see the 3 legendary swords from year 1 returning right here. But yeah, in general, a little bit of tuning considering many of them have been buffed fairly considerably, and that's on top of the ammo gains as well. So let us know your thoughts about those. And there are some other patch note previews right here, and this is update 2.5. They fixed an issue where the heroic version of 0 Hour would only be available in the first character. The luxurious toast emote now allows players to sit for as long as they desire, and players can no longer win Crucible matches by getting kills after the timer is expired. That's some pretty crazy stuff. And an issue where the action for applying shaders, ornaments, holograms, or using consumables was being cancelled and not applying on the first attempt. And that is a pretty annoying one, so it's good that that one's going to be fixed as well. On to some other bits related to Season of Opulence. Of course, we've seen a new title with the other 2 annual pass drops so far, and we now get confirmation that we will also see one in Season of Opulence. So DMG responded to a thread about titles and RNG and stuff, and he said moving forward, the team is putting much more focus on challenges for titles rather than RNG rewards. Over the course of development, there were notes on the Season of Opulence title to be aware of feedback over this as well. So throughout the process of kind of designing the objectives and stuff like that for the new title in Season 7, Bungie have remained aware of the feedback about RNG with some of the other titles in the game, and of course, as DMG said, last season they did increase drop weights for various rewards tied to titles as well. So hopefully it's going to be a fairly objective focused title. There's been a little bit of speculation as well as to what the title could actually be called. Shadow was a pretty interesting one, of course, related to Chalice's shadows, but who knows what we could get. I'd love to hear your speculation about it down below. On the subject of some of the exotic nerfs and adjustments coming this season, DMG responded to a conversation about the nerf to Skull of Dire Ahamkara and said from experience in playtests, you'll just need to rely on teammates making orbs a bit more than having an all-in-one super steamroll machine. So a bit of an insight into how that may play out, because of course it does have diminishing returns in terms of super energy. Just an interesting tidbit about that I thought you might be interested in. Couple of final things. You may have noticed some disruption today if you've been playing Destiny 2, and that's because there was some back-end maintenance and it was brought offline for a short time, but that should all be wrapped up by now. Another very final thing right here, Bungie actually made an Outbreak Prime model for the world's first completion of the 0 Hour mission. And Zupa was in the first team to actually clear this, which I didn't know, so congrats on that, my dude. But we can see this really cool model of Outbreak Prime. So I know we don't all get one, but of course we didn't all world first it. Nonetheless, I just thought it was something cool to share with you guys. For today though, that is going to summarize all of the news in this video, so let me know your thoughts on the additional details we've received about Opulence, some of those changes that are becoming in the sandbox, and of course the reveal that we now know is happening next week, very shortly after Opulence launches. But if you've enjoyed the video, a like below really helps me out, and if you're new around here, feel free to hit subscribe if you want to keep up to date with everything related to Destiny 2. Otherwise, for now, thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you all very soon.